Hi, everybody. Kenneth G Hasty here once again, talking today about more about selling to dentists. So, oh my gosh, why more about selling to dentists? Well, since you asked, I'll tell you. One, I first decided to put a video out about selling to dentists because, frankly, I have a whole lot of successful experience selling to dentists. And my business partner, my digital marketing savant business partner said, why don't you put something out about selling to dentists? So I sort of reluctantly did it, but I'm humbled to see that there's well over 1,000, um, watches of the video just on LinkedIn. It's in there, in other places, and people are watching it all over the world. So I thought, wow, why don't I put something else out a little more about selling to dentists? So that's what we're going to do today. And also, I want to thank all of you that are watching the videos. I was just down in Texas. My daughter got married, so I got to be the father of the bride and do that. So I took a few days off, and you didn't see any videos for a few days, and that's why. But even down there, people pulled me aside, said, "Hey, I've been watching your videos, and keep making those. They're really helpful, etc." And so yeah, it's nice to know people are watching. So Harsh and Adam, thank you for that. You know who you are. Um, and I know people watch these all over the world. So let me get to it. So let's talk about more about selling to dentists. Well, first off, let's say you've got a sales territory and you're selling to dentists, and this can apply to other specialists, to whoever you sell to. But you know, dentists typically have a receptionist in front, a big nice office. You come into the big nice office area there, and they'd probably throw you out right away. So the first challenge, of course, is getting to even speak with the receptionist. She just threw out the last 10 people, and number 11 walking in the door, she's sizing you up. And there's a number of ways to do that, but the main thing is to be personable. To be able to not just come in. I remember when I was first training, actually, ironically, to sell to dentists, the guy training me would just walk up, he'd throw his card on the desk and say his name. Need to see the doctor. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't let them in, and they didn't either, right? So you want to go in, you want to strike up a conversation with the person, not take up a lot of time, but acknowledge them first as a person, and then strike up a little conversation about why you're there. And a lot of times if I don't have an appointment, I just lay it out there. I go in, I say, hey, I know I don't have an appointment. I know they're probably busy. That's okay. I just wanted to find out when might be a good time to come by, and we can set that up, and I'll come by when they're a little more prepared for me. Um, then they'll often do that. Another thing, they'll often say, well, can you leave some information? Say, yes, I'd be happy to. Let me tell you a little about it. And so I want to make sure they're not just seeing some things, but they're also hearing some things, and trying to appeal to more senses. So the more senses you appeal to, the more likely people remember you. Um, so then, you know, anyway, that's the best way to probably get in if you're making a cold call to a dentist. And then once you're in, you want to acknowledge you have that appointment. You come in, you want to acknowledge the staff, because usually it's the staff that makes the purchases at a dental office. And they all have meetings together to talk about who they want to buy from, et cetera. Um, and they're probably, depending on what you sell, they're probably not going to buy from you, even if you're a dental supply rep, because they probably already have somebody they're buying from that they know, like, and trust, right? So you're gonna have to pay your dues. You're gonna have to get in there and say, you have to learn the products, learn what your competitors are doing, and then you can go in and say, look, you know, I know that you probably won't buy everything from me right now, but I do have some things that they don't, and I have some better prices on some things than they do. So let's talk about that. We can do what's best for your practice, and going forward, we'll just see what happens. And I find that type of approach to work really well. And then when you talk to the doctor, you want to be prepared. You want to have your, everything handy. You want to be able to demo. People say, I don't want to bring anything in. I'll go back out to the car and get it. Don't do that. Don't, because at that point you lose all the momentum of the call. You've got them. You've got a candid audience. You're right there. You're in the momentum. You don't want to stop for anything. You're lucky to be there without them having to stop for something. So anyway, so I told you all that to tell you this. Probably cold calling dentists is your least effective selling tool, because they're busy, you're busy, etc. And especially if you sell something like capital equipment or you sell something that, is kind of a one-off sales purchase, something about, fairly expensive, whether it's on the dentist or whomever. Because what happens is you may have a great product for them, but they're not ready to purchase it right now for whatever reason, right? And you know what I hate? I don't hate a lot of things, but what I hate is when I've sat there and explained everything to them, and they said, "Yeah, come back in about 6 months, and we should be ready then." I come back and I mark my calendar, and I come in like 5.5 months, be a little early, and kind of anticipating, well, maybe this is the time. And they go, "Oh man, we bought from your competitor. They were in here a couple months ago, and we hadn't seen you in a while." And I'm like, I just want to scream, right? So I try not to let that happen anymore. Um, so basically, the best way, if you want to, um, keep in regular touch, is to use digital marketing. Use right now, Facebook is very powerful for that. You can fine tune your demographics really tight. You can, basically go after whomever you want, and you could spend, I don't know, $25 a day and come out with some really powerful, communications and start getting customers out of it. Now you won't the first time they see it. Most people, you've heard me say this before, but most salespeople contact someone, we're kind of impatient, right? So we contact somebody a couple, 3 times, and if nothing happens, we move along, right? Well, unfortunately, statistically right now, because people are so bombarded with information, they don't usually buy till after the 8th exposure to something. So you gave up after 2 or 3, they're not buying until after 8. So how are you going to do that? Well, right now the best thing to do is to, automate your processes. Use modern technology to make your life easier and still have those personal communications. So, for instance, I'm certified in sales and marketing automation, and I wish I'd have had those tools when I was a sales rep, because I'd be living on an island right now. If I'm making the videos, I'd have dancing girls and I don't know, sunset and coconuts or something, drinking a Mai Tai, doing these. But basically, long story short, is you have to change with the times. And right now, the best way to follow up is sales and marketing automation. And since I got certified in that, I'm passionate about it, because basically what happens is now you get all these leads from, let's say, your Facebook campaign. They're starting to pile in, and you're trying to follow up, and you get hold of this person, you get hold of that person, you get, et cetera. But it may not be the time they're ready to buy, right? So, or maybe they're just busy, or they're out of town, and so you put that one aside, and you try to get this one, and you're filling this out, and you're trying to get that, and yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So, think about an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so you got a column in your Excel spreadsheet. Now, let's just say I was going to follow up on my Facebook ads. I just had that as one thing in my row going across there, right? And so I'd say, okay, I'm going to call them or communicate via email, send them a brochure or whatever the next day. Then I'm going to follow up, and maybe I'll send them another email in a couple of days. Maybe I'll call them. Maybe I'll, you lay that out for the foreseeable future, and you say, okay, I'm going to get them. But then you try to implement that, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't have time today. I'm really busy. I'll do that tomorrow. I can do some today, but I got more than and the next thing you know, these leads are just falling through and you're losing them. And, so with digital sales automation and marketing automation, you never lose another lead, because what happens is you plug them in, and all that you want to do is now done automatically by a computer, right? So it's all done on the cloud. And so now what happens is they still get those personal emails from you, and you still get the reminders to call, which you need to do when you do that, because you're not wasting time writing all these personal emails that they're getting. You lay it out once because you're doing it in a custom format. But, when you walk into an office and you want to sell something and they're not quite ready to buy, so you keep coming back. Now they're ready to buy, so you're either there or you weren't. So let's say you caught them just right. It's time they're ready to buy. You're there. Hallelujah, beautiful day. But, how often is that really going to happen? But think if you're beating the drum. You're just kind of ding, 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 once a month, once every 2 weeks, whatever it is. And when they're ready to buy, pop, right there. Hey, I need to call Kenneth. I was ready to get one of these. Also, when they start getting interested and they start downloading things and that, you get an email letting you know that happened. So now it's time to focus. You can start making phone calls or stop by or whatever, because they're getting ready to buy. So anyway, that's what I have to say about that. And if you want to talk more about sales automation, what I'm going to do is I'll put, in fact, if you want to talk about selling to dentists, or if you have a dental company and you need some consulting, but whatever, I'll go ahead and I'm going to put a link in with this video. And in the link, it'll give you my calendar, basically. So what you can do is you can arrange a free phone conversation. You just go, I don't care if it's midnight right now, you can go on there. You set it up, and I'll get an email, you'll get an email, it'll automatically go on our calendars, and we can talk one-on-one. If you'd like to do that, then happy to do that as well. No cost to you. And meanwhile, if you like these videos, please continue to like, forward, retweet, etc., and I'll keep doing them. So that's all for now. This one kind of got long, so I better get off the camera here and keep things going. So Kenneth G Hasty, KennethGHasty.com, and thank you for watching. Take care.